FB tweet. Pinterest email send text message print. Kim Cattrall was an honorary guest at Variety's 2022 Power of Women event in New York on Thursday night, and she was joined by some old friends. The How I Met Your Father star, 65, attended the ceremony with 3 former colleagues from her time on HBO's Sex and the City, series creator Darren Star, costume designer Patricia Field, and Candace Bushnell, who wrote the newspaper column and book on which the series was based. Cattrall played Samantha Jones on the show, which lasted 6 seasons and spawned 2 feature films, but, like Star, Field and Bushnell, had no involvement in HBO's recent Sex and the City continuation series, and Just Like That. When asked what it meant to her to have her former set colleagues join her at the event, where she was honored for her work with the Actors Fund, Cattrall said it means absolutely everything. "We spent over 25 years of our lives together," the actress added, going on to say how much she missed having Field, who won an Emmy for costume design on Sex and the City, adjust her outfits. "I'm so used to her fluffing and zooshing, I was like, I miss this. I miss you." For her cover story in Variety's Power of Women issue, Cattrall again discussed her very public departure from the Sex and the City franchise and claimed she had not been asked to take part in the new series and Just Like That. Of her iconic role, Cattrall said that she would never want to look back on Samantha with anything other than pride. But after 6 seasons and 2 films, she added, "Everything in me went, I'm done." In 2017, Cattrall turned down a script for a never-produced third Sex and the City movie, a decision that seems to have ultimately led to her not being invited to join HBO Max's reboot on Just Like That. "I made my feelings clear after the possible third movie, so I found out about the reboot, like everyone else did, on social media," she said. Not that she was entirely bothered not to revisit the iconic role. "Can you imagine going back to a job you did 25 years ago?" she asked. "And the job didn't get easier, it got more complicated in the sense of how are you going to progress with these characters?" Cattrall said that much of what was supposed to appear in the scrapped film, including the major plot points of Mr. Biggs, Chris Noth, sudden death and Carrie's, Sarah Jessica Parker, mourning period, found their way into the reboot. The series is basically the third movie. That's how creative it was. She added that and Just Like That feels like an echo of the past. And though she felt ultimately protective of Samantha, Cattrall said she knew it was time to step away, telling Variety, "Everything has to grow, or it dies." She added, "I don't want to be nude anymore. I'm 65. I'm in great shape. But I'm just not interested. I feel like I filled my quota on that one." Cattrall further acknowledged she never felt intimately connected with co-stars Parker, Kristen Davis and Cynthia Nixon. "I think we were colleagues. My colleagues aren't my friends. It was professional." She noted, "It's a great wisdom to know when enough is enough. I also didn't want to compromise what the show was to me. The way forward seemed clear." This year, Cattrall appeared as Sophie on Hulu's How I Met Your Father, narrating the story of her younger self as played by Hilary Duff. She is also set to appear in Peacock's Queer as Folk reboot, premiere in June, and star with Robert De Niro in About My Father. And Just Like That, meanwhile, has been picked up for a second season on HBO Max, with Parker, Nixon, Davis and co-creator/showrunner Michael Patrick King in tow.